is the chief constituent and solvent in human body. We simply cannot exist without water. Water comprises 60 to 70% of the total body weight and exists in the form of various fluids in the body. Apart from water, body fluids also comprise electrolytes, blood plasma, component cells, proteins, and other soluble particles. Electrolytes in body fluids help regulate fluids and acid-base or pH balance of the body. Any imbalance can have significant consequences on various body systems. Correcting fluid balance by the use of intravenous fluids to restore and maintain an effective circulating volume of fluids in the body are fundamentals of modern medicine. Therefore, it is important for medical professionals to be able to recognize subtle changes in order to intervene timely and prevent further complications. In this module, you will learn the basic concepts related to fluid balance and imbalance in the body, the causes and the interventions needed for treatment. You will also learn about the concepts related to acid-base balance and imbalance in commonly found electrolytes in the human body and their variations from normal. The menu section is displayed. There are 3 sections in this menu. Click on a section to proceed. By the end of this section, you will be able to understand the movement of fluid in body and the gain or loss of fluids and electrolytes in body. State terminologies associated with fluid balance and imbalance. Critically analyze the causes for fluid balance disturbances, distinguish between fluid excess and deficit, and also understand the normal physiological processes that maintain fluid balance in the human body. By the end of this section, water has many functions in the body. It includes transportation of nutrients, waste metabolites, hormones, and enzymes, transportation of blood platelets, and red and white blood cells, facilitation of biochemical reactions, and digestion, tissue lubrication, to protect organs, helping in elimination of ingested food, regulation of body temperature, promoting absorption of nutrients, and acting as a solvent for electrolytes and non-electrolytes. The sources of water in body are drinking water, which is water intake through the mouth. This may vary depending on social habits and climatic conditions. Water intake from cooked food items, and metabolic water produced during metabolism or oxidation of food substances. The water content in various organs in the body are shown on screen, which is again a reminder of how important water is for our body. The water content in the body changes with age as shown on screen. Note that the water content present in females is slightly lesser than that in males. The distribution of fluid throughout the body can be broken down into 2 general categories: intracellular fluid, which is 67% of the fluids in body and 40% of the total body weight; extracellular fluid, which is 33% of the fluids in body and 20% of the total body weight. Intracellular fluid is the total space within cells, primarily defined as the cytoplasm of cells. It is stable and does not readily adjust to rapid changes. This is where much of chemical reactions occur. It is also important to maintain an appropriate osmolarity. Extracellular fluid is further subcategorized as interstitial fluids between cells, which is 25% of the fluids in body and 12% of the total body weight. Plasma, which is 7% of the fluids in body and 5% of the total body weight. Intracellular fluid has high concentration of potassium, magnesium, and phosphate. It has relatively lower levels of sodium, chloride, bicarbonates, and proteins. Extracellular fluid has high concentration of sodium, chloride, bicarbonates, and proteins. It has relatively lower levels of potassium, magnesium, and phosphate. Now, let us answer a few questions to check your understanding. The water content in the body decreases with age. Is this statement true or false? Electrolytes are minerals in the body, which develop an electrical charge when dissolved in water. The concentration of electrolytes is expressed in milliequivalents per liter. The important electrolytes in the human body include sodium, potassium, calcium, bicarbonate, magnesium, chloride, and phosphate. When dissolved in water, or any fluid, electrolyte dissociates into ions. These ions are able to carry an electrical current. Positively charged electrolyte is known as cation, while the negatively charged one is known as anion. Electrolytes are essential for basic life functioning, such as maintaining electrical neutrality in cells. They also generate and conduct action potentials in the nerves and muscles. The main intracellular electrolytes are potassium, phosphate, and magnesium. The main extracellular electrolytes are sodium, chloride, and bicarbonates. It is important for maintaining electrical neutrality in each fluid component that the number of cations is equal to the number of anions. The tables show how the balance between anions and cations is maintained in extracellular and intracellular fluid. Fluid electrolyte, movement in body. Click each tab to learn more about the terms. Diffusion is the movement of solutes from region of higher concentration to region of lower concentration, down the concentration gradient, or it can also be referred to as random movement of particles in all directions through a solution. Osmosis is the movement of water across a membrane, from a less concentrated solution to a more concentrated solution, or it can also be referred to as the diffusion of water across a selectively permeable membrane. Osmolarity refers to the number of solute particles per liter of solvent. Osmolality refers to the number of solute particles per kilogram of solvent. Osmometer is used to measure the osmolality of aqueous samples. Active transport is the process of movement of molecules from region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration against a gradient, or an obstacle, with the use of external energy. Filtration is the transfer of water and solutes through a membrane, from a region of high pressure to a region of low pressure without use of energy. Important term is tonicity. It is defined as the ability of a solution surrounding a cell to cause that cell to gain or lose water. Three terms, isotonic, hypotonic, and hypertonic, are used to describe if a solution will cause water to move into or out of a cell. Click the tabs to learn more about these terms. Isotonic solution has the same concentration of solutes as plasma. Therefore, when a cell is placed in an isotonic solution, there is no change in the concentration inside the cell. Hypotonic solution has lesser concentration of solutes than plasma. Therefore, when a cell is placed in a hypotonic solution, the solution moves into the cell, and the cell swells. And can even hypertonic solution has higher concentration of solutes than plasma. Therefore, when a cell is placed in a hypertonic solution, the solution moves. IV fluids are used for treatment of various disorders related to fluid and electrolytes. Following are some of the IV fluids used commonly, as per their tonicity. A body is said to be in water balance in a day when the amount of water input in the body is equal to the amount of water output. Specific concentrations of electrolytes in the body compartments are of most important in distribution and water balance. Therefore, if there is imbalance in electrolytes, it directly affects water balance. Now, let us understand the function of body organs, which play important role in homeostatic mechanisms in the body. Click each label to learn more. Sodium is actively transported out of tubule cells by sodium-potassium ATPase pump. From there it moves to peritubular capillaries due to low hydrostatic pressure and high osmotic pressure of blood. 65% sodium reabsorption occurs in proximal tubule, while 25% occurs in loop of Henle. When blood pressure falls, kidneys release the enzyme renin into the bloodstream. Renin causes angiotensinogen, a plasma protein formed in liver, to split and produce hormone angiotensin I, an inactive hormone. Angiotensin-converting enzyme or ACE, produced by the lungs, convert angiotensin I to angiotensin II, an active hormone. Angiotensin II then stimulates adrenal gland to release aldosterone. Aldosterone causes increase in the peripheral vasoconstriction or constriction of small arteries, which increases blood pressure. Together, aldosterone and ADH cause kidneys to reabsorb sodium, which in turn causes water retention. This increases blood volume and blood pressure. Aldosterone also causes your kidneys to excrete potassium through urine. Baroreceptors are small nerve receptors located in the blood vessels, near the heart. These provide information to the central nervous system, pertaining to blood volume and pressure. Baroreceptors monitor circulating volume, and regulate sympathetic, parasympathetic, and endocrine activities as shown on screen. Atrial natriuretic peptide, or ANP, is a cardiac hormone, secreted by right atrium of heart. It is chemically a polypeptide hormone. ANP opposes the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. ANP is released in response to increased blood pressure in the atria, due to increased blood volume. ANP suppresses renin level, which in turn decreases aldosterone release from adrenal glands, and decreases ADH release from kidneys. This stimulates excretion of sodium and water from kidneys, and reduces vascular resistance by causing vasodilation, resulting in decrease in blood pressure. Kinins are proteins in the blood, which are mostly produced at inflamed or injured tissue of the body and human body fluids. Kinins cause inflammation and affect blood pressure, and increase salt and water excretion. The conditions leading to fluid and electrolyte imbalances are dehydration, which is the condition when the output of water exceeds the intake in the body, and overhydration, when the input of water exceeds the output of water from the body. The general reasons for dehydration are low ingestion of water and excessive loss of body fluids. The conditions are water deficiency condition, low body water, low blood volume, and disturbance in body electrolytes. Dehydration can be categorized as primary dehydration, mixed type dehydration, which is the most common one, and secondary dehydration. Each of the categories have specific causes, symptoms, and method of management. Click the tabs to learn more. Let us now look at the most common reasons for overhydration. They are excessive administration of parenteral fluids, renal failure, which means no secretion or less secretion of urine, hypersecretion of antidiuretic hormone due to administration of narcotics and anesthesia, or excess secretion of aldosterone. The resulting conditions are swelling or discoloration of feet, hands, and lips, nausea and vomiting, muscle weakness, spasms or cramps, or headaches. Let us answer a few questions to check your understanding. What happens when you put a cell in hypotonic solution?